Beautiful people, what is going on? In today's video, I wanted to provide you all with the ultimate Apex Legends beginner's guide here in season 18. All right, now a few disclaimers. First and foremost, this will be improv, meaning that I don't have a solid script, so you may hear me stutter a little bit here and there. Also, I have a speech impediment, and there will be points where you will hear me talk slow so that I can minimize my stuttering. All right, also another disclaimer, this guide right here is meant for beginners who are people that have never picked up the game or that just have not improved to the degree that they have wanted to improve at, all right? Or if you are a returning player, this will do to give you a refresh mentally so you can remember where things are, but if you haven't played in a long time, like a year plus, the game has changed significantly. So definitely stay tuned here. I will also drop timestamps as well if you want to skip around and or learn, I guess, particular parts of this video or learn from particular parts of this video. Feel free to do so. Again, timestamps will be down below. All right, disclaimers out the way. I want to cut out as much fluff as possible. So let's go ahead, let's jump in and let's get to the meat and the potatoes. Quick side note, before we get to the meat and the potatoes, I wanted to give you all the framework of this video. Okay, so we're going to start with, what is Apex Legends, the game modes, the characters, the character typings, because of course now characters have classes, the weapons, the ammo, all that good stuff. And then we will get to what I call a how-to section, which will talk about how we can get better in Apex Legends. Okay, just wanted to give you all that little framework. Now let's get to the meat and the potatoes. The first thing I want to cover here briefly, if you are brand new to Apex Legends, is what is Apex Legends, right? Again, if you're brand new, you heard about it from a friend, a family member, you've seen it on Twitch, YouTube, whatever, I want to let you all know what this game is, all right? At its core, it is a battle royale, 60 players, which are broken up into either 20 teams of 3 if you play trios, or 30 teams of 2 if you're playing duos, and you all drop onto a map where there is a ring that will shrink every so often, putting you guys closer and closer where you all will have to fight, duke it out to see who will be the last team and or player standing, all right? Now, also do know that Apex Legends has expanded a little bit, and what I mean by that is it's not solely just a battle royale now. There are several different game modes. You have Control, which Control, think of domination from Call of Duty. If you never played Call of Duty, I got your back. There are 3 points on the map of which you all will go ahead and attempt to capture. I want to say that there are teams of either 10 or 12. It's 2 teams, I should say. So you have Team A and Team B, and you both are fighting over the points. The people that hold majority of the points for the longest while destroying the other team will gain points, and the first to 100 will win that particular match, okay? You also have another game mode called Gun Run. Gun Run is akin to, and I'll use Call of Duty as a reference again, it's akin to gun game, right? Where there are 4 teams of 3, and the first team to reach 25 will win, which is 25 kills, right? Now, do know every kill you get, you will automatically switch to another weapon. So if you are using weapon A, you get a kill, you swap to weapon B. Get a kill with weapon B, you swap to weapon C, so on and so forth, okay? Pretty fun game mode to use weapons you don't often use in this game, and also to become familiar with some weapons, okay? And then the last game mode that there is outside of the firing range or the training range, which you all will see referenced a lot in this video, is Team Deathmatch. Classic Team Deathmatch, 2 teams of 6, the first to 50 kills, or I should say the first team to 60 kills, not 60, what the heck, to 50 kills will win that match in an entirety, okay? So again, we have the Battle Royale, we have Control, we have Team Deathmatch, and we also have, why am I blanking out? Gun Run, okay? Now, at the time of recording this video, that's what we have in the game. I'm recording this video literally a day or 2 before season 18 will drop. So I have no idea what is planned in the future. By the time you watch this video, there could have been more game modes added, and I'm also not including limited time modes, all right? Quick side note here, something that I forgot to mention in regards to game modes, and I guess I just wasn't thinking about this as its own game mode, but we can just for the sake of this video, is there is a ranked game mode, okay? In the ranked game mode, things like kills, placement, and winning the match all matter, okay? You can start in rank rookie, work your way up through bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, all the way up to master. And if you are one of the top 750 players on your respective platform, PC, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, whatever, then you will be considered an Apex Predator, okay? So do know that if you are brand new to the game, you will more than likely start in rookie after you do your 10 placement matches, and then you'll work your way up, going from rookie all the way up through bronze 4, 3, 2, 1, silver 4, 3, 2, 1, gold 4, 3, 2, 1, platinum 4, 3, 2, 1, diamond 4, 3, 2, 1 to masters. Okay, do know that you will get rewards as you go through the ranks. From bronze onward, you can get a badge and a hollow spray. From gold onward, you'll get a weapon cosmetic, and then from diamond onward, at this point, you'll get a season-long dive trail, but I believe in season 18, which will be here in a day or two, or if you're watching this in season 18, it's already here. Those dive trails will be removed, and they will be doing, I believe, banners and or frames for those diamond, masters, and predator rewards, okay? So again, if you want to get competitive, you want to sweat it up a little bit after you get acclimated to Apex Legends, ranked mode is where you want to be. So now that we've went ahead and we've talked about what Apex Legends is, we talked about game modes, I want to get into the characters a bit now, okay? Now, I will let you all know I'm not going in depth in regards to lore, in regards to every nook and cranny, I guess not nook and cranny, that's probably not the right term, but in regards to every little intricate detail per legend. Not doing that in this video. I've done that before and it made the video run almost 2 hours. We ain't doing that here. If you want to see or you want to learn about every intricate detail in regards to each respective legend, I will have legend guides coming out following this guide at a later date, so make sure you're subbed so that you can go ahead and check those out. Anyways, I digress a little bit there. Talking about characters, do know that there are character classes. There have been character classes in the game since day one, but now they are a bit more prominent, all right? You have 5 classes. You have your assault class, which entails legends like Bang, Revenant, or I should say Bangalore. Let me be correct here. You guys don't know I guess the shortening of characters' names just yet. So Bangalore, Revenant, who is getting a rework here in season 18. Do know I recorded this literally like a day or two before season 18. So Revenant, the rework, also known as Revenant Reborn, has not released just yet. Fuse, Ash, Mad Maggie, and Ballistic, all right? Skirmishers, we have Pathfinder, Wraith, Octane, Horizon, and Valkyrie. Recon, we have Bloodhound, Crypto, Seer, and Vantage. For support legends, we have Gibraltar, Lifeline, Mirage, Loba, and Newcastle. And then for controller legends, we have Caustic, Watson, Rampart, and Catalyst, okay? Now, your next question is going to be, Cray, what does that even mean? What is an assault class? What is a skirmisher class? So let me give some details, all right? So I will use Bang as an example, or Bangalore as an example. I call her Bang for short. Assault legends are legends that have a good ability usage in the midst of combat, right? So if I'm in the middle of a fight, let's say I'm fighting this dummy right here, and you know, I'm shooting, I'm missing shots, whatever, I need to get out of here because this dummy's teammate or teammates are pulling up from like out yonder, then what I can do as Bangalore is I can drop smoke here, I can retreat, or I can try to get this kill right here before I retreat, or whatever I want to do based off of popping that smoke. Pretty much popping this smoke right here just buys me more time, okay? So think about assault legends being people that can get busy in the midst of combat. Every single assault character is a little bit different. So for example, if I use, let's pull out Fuse for an example. Fuse obviously does not have smoke, but what he has is he has an ability where he can shoot these clusters called knuckle clusters, and they can do chip damage. So let's say I was fighting this target right here and I got this target weak. I can go ahead and I can pop a knuckle cluster and retreat. Maybe I get the knock, boom, I got the knock there. So as I retreat and wait for my teammates to back me up, they have a down teammate over here. Now they're a little bit frantic, and by they I mean the opposition, and now I can make a play based off of that. I can reposition, heal up, you know, I can play this angle right here, maybe get another knock, so on and so forth, right? I can do all that in the midst of combat. That's the assault class, all right? Also, do know that there are some supply caches that assault class legends have access to. If I remember, I'll put a picture up on the screen like at this exact moment in time so you can see what those supply crates or caches look like. I might forget, I'll be openly honest. I can be a bit scatterbrained at times, but I should remember. Anyways, again, I digress a little bit there. Also, do know that assault legends can carry more ammo than any other legends per stack. So ammunition actually stacks in this game, typically like in stacks of 60, or if it's a shotgun, stacks of 16, or if it's sniper, I believe stacks of 42. Do know that assault legends can stack more. So if I open up my inventory, you'll see this little yellow icon. This means that we're stacking more ammo than we are quote unquote supposed to, okay? So where light and heavy ammo would stack usually to 60, we can stack 80 as an assault legend, right? Where shotgun ammo usually stacks to 16, we can stack 21, I believe 16. Don't quote me there. Anyways, you guys get the point here. Assault legends are incredibly useful for combat, for getting in, getting mixy, getting a knock or two here. As an assault legend, you will get knocked as well. Do know that will happen, totally fine, because if you did your job, you will create enough chaos, maybe get a knock or two for your teammates to come and clean up the rest, okay? Now let's go ahead and let's talk skirmishers a bit, all right? So I'm going to use Wraith as an example here. So skirmishers are legends that have the ability to get in and out of combat really quick, all right? So think about it like this. If I'm playing Wraith, and again, remember, every legend is different, so how they can get in and out of combat will be different, all right? So definitely take mind of that, or take note of that, and find out what legend is best for you for getting out of, for getting in and out of combat here in the firing range or the training range, whatever you want to call it, all right? So Wraith, for example, let's say I'm in this gunfight right here, I'm missing shots, oh my gosh, I'm weak, this enemy's weak right here, and I need to get out. Wraith can phase out. It takes about a second to proc, or a little over a second, so I can go ahead, phase out, I can reposition right to this building, I can heal up if I need to heal up, or I can just wait for my teammates to pull up so it becomes an even fight, or it can become a handicap fight. Now my teammates are here, we can 3v1 this enemy, or if this enemy's teammates are near, we can have a fair 3v3 fight, all right? So legends of the skirmisher class can get in and out at an instant. Pathfinder can zip line away, or he can swing away like Spider-Man. Octane can go ahead and pop a stem to run away at extreme speeds. Also, he has his jump pad, so on and so forth. All right, so keep that in mind. If you're playing skirmisher, you can get in and you can get out for the most part safely. If you're fighting a good team, that team will trail you and they will find a way to put you down with their team and or abilities. All right, so let's keep that in mind. Also, do know that as a skirmisher, you have the ability to see what's in a care package. So do know, periodically throughout the match, there will be care packages dropping from the sky. They will pop up on your mini map that'll be in the upper left hand corner. As those packages descend, you can literally look at them and it will scan what is inside that particular package. Kind of like with the assault class, if I remember, I'll go ahead and drop a visual example of that happening here on your screen, picture, GIF, or a little mini video. I should remember, but yeah, sometimes I just don't. I will be openly honest there, okay? Also, they can see if a care package was taken, or if it was already looted, they can see what was looted out of that particular care package. So pretty cool there in that regard. Skirmishers definitely have a ton of use and they are great for entry fragging. Let's go ahead and let's talk about recon legends a little bit. All right, so recon legends are what their name entails. They have the ability to scout and gather as much enemy intel as possible. And remember, every single legend is different, so the ways they go about it are different. I'll use Bloodhound here as an example because they are pretty straightforward in regards to their ability to gather intel. So Bloodhound has the ability to just scan at a proximity of, I want to say 50 meters. It could be shorter. I cannot exactly recall. Forgive me for that. But if I go ahead and use my ability here, I can go ahead and I can scan. So you'll see 2 hostiles detected, right? When they're highlighted, they'll be highlighted for a few seconds, I believe, or it may be a second now. Don't quote me on that. Either way, you'll have intel that there are enemies within proximity that you need to make a game plan for, whether if you choose to take that fight or if you choose to rotate around, that is totally at your discretion, all right? But again, you have the ability to gather intel in whatever way fits that particular legend. Also, they have the ability to scan these disc-like consoles on the map. When you scan them, and again, I'll go ahead and pop a picture up here, and when you scan them, it will go ahead and ping every enemy on the map for a period of time. I believe the time is like 15-20 seconds. Could be wrong there, could be longer, could be shorter. Forgive me for that, for not having that information right off top of mind. But when you scan, literally you can open up the map and you will be able to see all the enemies on the map at that period in time. Now, do know this gives away your position because the enemy players can see exactly where that ring console was scanned, so they can fly you, but also you have the information on them, who's around you, so you can safely rotate and or take a fight, okay? Quick side note, I actually just remembered, when you hit those ring consoles and you go ahead and you scan the map, it lasts for 30 seconds. I don't know why. For a second, I just was like, oh my gosh, 15 seconds, no, 20 seconds, no. It's 30 seconds, okay? Also, the technical name for these consoles are survey beacons. The ring console technical term is for controller legends, which we'll talk about here shortly. Class number 4 here, we're going to talk about support legends, all right? Think about support legends as being those that have the abilities to protect, revive, or resupply teammates in some way, shape, or form, all right? Now, every support legend cannot do all 3. They can do 1 of 3, maybe 2 or 3 at most, all right? So I'll use Gibraltar as an example of a support legend because there was a point in time where he was the support legend. Now he's not so much, but still he has some viability, okay? So with Gibraltar's ability, you can go ahead and you can drop a dome here, all right? And when you do drop this dome, you can revive teammates that have been knocked in the dome quicker than you could if you were outside the dome, all right? Now, do know that this dome only lasts now for like 10 to 12 seconds, so it will disappear. And when it disappears, yeah, you are left out in the open, all right? Now, if I use another support legend, let's see, let's say Loba for an example. Loba's ultimate ability has the ability to resupply your teammates with 2 chosen items and as much ammunition as needed, all right? So just a friendly reminder, if you are unaware, every legend has a tactical ability, a passive ability, and an ultimate ability, of which you can all see on the main screen. I will show a picture here so that you all can have that for reference before you go ahead and you drop in. And also, as you are choosing a legend, I actually don't even have to put that picture on the screen, because as you're choosing a legend here in the firing range, if you right tap your mouse, or I don't know what it is on controller, you can actually see the abilities and you can see everything that that particular legend can do, all right? And also, I believe, where's it at? Yeah, so if you open up your inventory and go over to legend, you can actually see all your abilities at a glance as well. So keep that in mind. I apologize for not mentioning this earlier in the video, but yeah, you can do that, all right? So definitely keep that in mind. Also, support legends can open up a secret bin as well, just like the assault legends can. Theirs is actually called a support crate or a support catch, and it would do very similar to what the assault legends catches can do. They'll provide you with extra items. The assault legend will provide you with extra attachments for your guns, and the support legends will provide you with extra supportive items like heals and things of that nature, all right? So definitely keep that in mind. Also, if you die, you leave behind something called a banner. Your teammates will have 90 seconds to go collect it. If they don't collect it, your banner will have expired and you cannot be revived in that match, unless you have a support legend on your team. If that support legend is on your team, of course, then you can actually go to a crafting machine, which will drop in the battle royale across the map, and some are already predetermined randomly as you do drop into the map. You can actually go and craft your teammates' banners back, which is incredibly helpful, okay? So support legends are useful in that regard, to at least have one on your team to, again, either resupply, revive, or protect the team in any way, shape, or form. So last but not least, we're going to talk about controller legends here, all right? Controller legends are legends that have the ability to fortify a location and or trap enemies, okay? So I will use Rampart as an example. Her tactical ability will allow me to go ahead and place these barricades down. I can have up to 6 down on the map at any given time. After I put one down, I can actually pick it up. Why is my button not working? Pick it up. Pick it up, bro. Okay, whatever. My keybinds are a little bit goofy right now, so I can't pick it up after I place it down. That's a user error, not a game error. So I can go ahead and I can just barricade a building up. And the cool thing with Rampart is whatever I fire out will do more damage. Do I have a dummy, for example? So shooting this dummy, as you can see, I do more damage behind it than I do not behind it, which is pretty cool. So Rampart can fortify a building and hold it down. Caustic, obviously, he has his gas traps here. Watson can place electric fences, and Catalyst can reinforce doors. So super nice when you are in game and you're trying to hold down a building with your team. You can go ahead, reinforce it up, and be good to go. All right. Cool thing about Controller Legends is, as I mentioned earlier when I was talking about, why am I blanking out? When I was talking about Recon Legends being able to scan those survey beacons, controllers have an ability to scan as well, those ring consoles. That's the correct technical term for it. And when they scan the ring consoles, they can see what the next circle, or excuse me, where the next circle will be, right? So I can scan the ring console. I'll put a little picture up here, boom, boom, boom. I go ahead, I scan it. I can see where the ring is going. We can rotate early into that new ring, and we can go ahead and we can reinforce that new ring, and we can be good to go. We can do chip damage. We can hold the team that may be coming in here. We can get a knock, a kill, and if we're playing in ranked, every kill will count towards us getting more rank points. All right, so Controller Legends are great for holding it down. All right, beautiful people, it is now time for us to talk about weapons and or equipment. So this section could just be called weapons, equipment, heals, all that stuff. Anything you can pick up, we're going to talk about it here. All right. First thing I will talk about will be equipables. All right. So Apex Legends now has an armor system. If you are unaware, I want to say this was adopted, like, I'm trying to think, man, don't quote me on this, but like maybe sometime like around season 6 or something like that. We used to have just original shields, but now we have Evo shields, meaning if you do damage, so if you see in the bottom left hand corner, it says next Evo, which means I need to do 150 damage before my armor automatically upgrades to a blue armor, which gives me 75 total armor health. All right. And then from that point on, let's say I did that, boom. Now, if I do 300 damage with a blue armor, it will automatically upgrade to a purple armor, which now absorbs 100 damage. So I can take 100 damage before before now my health is impacted, right? So boom, we upgrade it. Now, if I do 750 damage, I go ahead and I upgrade to a red armor, which is the max. Now I can take 125 damage before my health is impacted, okay? So when it comes to the armor system, these are no longer out here. All we have are the Evo shields, which is awesome. All right. When it comes to gold armor, though, gold armor is something that can still drop. As you can see, you have minor healing improvement. So if I have a gold armor equipped and I get hurt for whatever reason, if I pop a shield cell, it will give me 2 of those square gold blocks down at the bottom instead of just 1 per shield cell. And if I pop a syringe, which are these thingies right here, it will heal 50 health instead of that 25. Okay, so keep that in mind. The gold items are still in game. All right. When it comes to everything else, gold and all these other things are still in game. All right, so keep that in mind, just not the original body shields. When it comes to helmets, so helmets damage, not damage, but helmets reduce headshot damage. So you have your white, you have your blue, you have your purple, and your gold. All right, that is the tier of rarity. So gold is best if it is in. Red is actually the best when it comes to armor. Well, some people like rocking gold over red armors. Totally preferable there in that regard. But when it comes to helmets, book bags, and knockdown shields, gold is goated. All right. Also, gold items have special abilities. So you see here, if you get a gold helmet, it reduces your tactical and ultimate recharge time. So you see a pop of smoke here, pop of smoke, 32 seconds. If I equip this helmet, you see how that time just changed right there. It cut off 10 seconds before my first smoke regenerates. All right, same thing for your ultimate ability. It will go ahead and it will reduce that charge time as well. When it comes to backpacks, you'll notice here, if I equip a regular backpack, a white backpack, it just gives me the opportunity to carry 2 more items here. You see these other 2 are locked. So if I go ahead and get a blue, now I unlock 2 more slots. And now, oops, if I get a purple, I unlock all the slots there. All right, gold is similar to purple, except your medical supplies can stack higher. So if I am carrying shield batteries, you guys can see I can only stack 2. Now, if I go ahead and grab this gold, I can stack 3. All right, same thing for the med kits. Oops. For the med kits, I can now stack 3 med kits with the gold backpack. So super cool there. And then knockdown shields give you damage protection when you are knocked down. All right, so white gives you 200, blue gives you 450, purple gives you 750, and the gold gives you 750 as well. But when you revive your teammates, you give them bonus shield and health. So if your teammate is knocked and they have a purple shield, what will happen is when you revive them, they will have half health and they will have 50 of their 100 purple shield. Let me know if that makes sense. That should make sense, right? You know, purple shield here. You see down there, you know, I have 4 blocks. When you revive them, they'll have 2 blocks and 50 health versus having no blocks and only 30 health. They may have more than 50 health, actually. They may have like 60 or 70. I can't remember top of mind. All right. So when it comes to gear items, those are the gear item thingies, and that is how they work. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, let me know down in the comments, and I'll figure something else out that does make sense. Armor, boom, helmets, backpacks, knockdown shields. The higher up the rarity, the better. I will say if you have a support legend on your team, give them this gold knockdown shield, like especially if you have a lifeline or a Newcastle on your team, because then they can revive teammates while still being in the mix. Lifeline can drop her revive drone and still shoot, and Newcastle pops up this big shield to block incoming damage and to revive a teammate. All right, so you get this, give it away. All right, stick to this or below if you have a support legend on your team. If you are the support legend, then guess what? You deserve this at all times. All right. Now switching gears here, let's talk about weapons here. All right, weapons are pretty straightforward. You pick them up and you shoot with them, right? In Apex, it's a little bit different, right? Apex is not a hit scan based shooter. Hit scan meaning the moment you pull the trigger, if the reticle is on the opposition, it does damage. It is a projectile based shooter, meaning that bullets are actually being fired out of the weaponry, all right? With that being said, that means that there is actually something called bullet drop in this game. All weapons have it, right? Some weapons have it at, I guess, greater, what's the term? Some weapons have higher bullet drop. Yeah, let's say that. Some weapons have higher bullet drop than others, all right? So let's go ahead and let's talk through these. I will start with the sniper class, right? So snipers obviously do have bullet drop, right? So if I try to shoot, here, let me put a little scope on this joker so you all can see. So if I try to shoot this target back here, it's 189 meters away. As you all can see, well, there was some bullet drop, but not a lot. Let's find a further target, 216 meters away. If I shoot from the middle of my reticle, you see that bullet begins to drop. So if I just fire, you guys can see the bullet dropping over the mountain. All right. Again, all weapons have bullet drop. Snipers, for the most part, are pretty consistent and will have a little bit of bullet drop. If you pick up certain scopes, you guys can see the 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if this target was 500 meters away, I would line up the 5 in the middle, and then I would shoot there. All right. So pretty cool that some of the sites carry or have these little nodes or little markers to let you know based off of how far away somebody is. All right, so you can still hit those crits and you can go ahead and get them knocks. All right, so snipers are pretty standard in that regard. They have some slight bullet drop, but for the most part you're going to get the most bang for your buck in terms of in terms of not having a lot of bullet drop. All right, when it comes to shotguns, all right, let's pick up the Peacekeeper. Peacekeeper is a little bit different because you have the ability to charge up a shot and you can shoot this compressed shot. As you all can see there, it pretty much tightens the spread there, so the bullets fire like this versus like this. All right, hope that makes sense. It only happens when you ADS. If I hit fire, as you all can see, the bullets shoot like this. All right, and there isn't a ton of bullet drop even with shotguns, as you all can realize right then and there. Obviously, why would you use a shotgun this far away? But if for whatever reason you wanted to, you still could and still do a little bit of damage. It's just like why, you know? So if I'm fighting this guy right here, I can still do some decent damage. I'm not taking a long range fight. I ain't fighting a dude over there with a shotgun. If you are, you need to find a different game. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. So bullet drop is almost non-existent when it comes to shotguns. Yeah, like if at all. Okay. So keep that in mind there. You know, you can use shotguns at greater ranges than you would traditionally expect, especially like coming from Call of Duty or something like that. All right. Moving on here to light weapons. Light weapons have higher fire rates, but they don't hit as hard as, let's say, a heavy weapon, and we'll talk about those shortly. All right, so they fire out the barrel quicker, but then their shots will begin to drop. So let's pick up a scope here. Actually, I'll use a 2x4. So you see how fast that's coming out of the barrel. Pretty fast, right? Doing 13 to the body and then 22 to the head from that particular distance. If I shoot this target back here, you all can see fast out the barrel, then slows down, and then bullet drop begins to ensue. All right, again, higher fire rate weapons, so faster out the barrel, don't do as much damage. All right, so you see fast out the barrel. I'm missing a ton of shots, forgive me. This is literally early in the day. I have not shot at all. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. All right. When it comes to heavy weapons, so the car is a little bit different. I will openly admit that, because the car can actually be a heavy weapon or a light weapon based upon which ammunition you pick up. It does not change the fire rate or anything of that nature. It just can take either ammo. All right, so let's keep that in mind when picking up the car SMG. So I won't use that as an example. I'll use the flatline as our heavy weapon example here. All right. So as you all will see, the flatline will have a slower fire rate, but it does more damage per shot. All right. So the flatline in comparison to the R3, to the body, we're doing 14. To the head, bro, stop doing me like that. To the head, we're doing 23. Yo, I should probably just make the bot stand still. Forget it. I'll keep it moving, right? Anyways, I'm digressing there a little bit. Where, let's see, what did I say? We did 14 to the body, where the R3 does 10 to the body, or 10 to the leg, I should say, right? 13 to the body there. Stand up, fool. 18 to the body, right, with the flatline. So as you all can see, the flatline does more damage but slower fire rate. And also heavy weapons tend to have more recoil, right? So if I'm shooting this target back here, I'm going to have a little bit more kick up, and I'm on mouse and keyboard right now, so I can control recoil a little bit easier than I could if I picked up the controller. But there would be more recoil on heavy weapons versus a light weapon like an R301. There is less recoil. I probably shouldn't be using a 2x4 on it, because I think that kind of defeats what I'm trying to say here. So if I just use a 2X here, you'll see how much smoother that is to control just by using the 2X here versus using the 2X on the flat line. So if I just let the recoil pattern just go up, that's what the flat line looks like without any type of counterbalancing. And that's what the R3 looks like without any type of counterbalancing. Again, a little bit easier to control light weapons versus heavy weapons. All right. Continuing on here, though, I will transition over to energy weapons. So energy weapons are a little bit in the middle, right? They don't fire as fast as light weapons, but they don't fire as slow as heavy weapons. They don't do as much damage as heavy weapons, but they aren't as weak as light weapons. Literally smack dab in the middle. Also with energy weapons, you will have a few weapons that have charge up time. All right. So Havoc, for example, if you do not have what's called a turbocharger hop up on it, if you don't find this out in the wild to pick up and equip on your Havoc or your Devotion, what's going to happen is for the Havoc, you're going to have this period before it starts to fire bullets. That's a charge up time. If we equip the turbocharger, as you all see, I can just click and shoot right away. All right. With the Devotion, it's a little bit more of a ramp up thing. So if I have the turbocharger on, the ramp up happens a lot faster. If I take the turbocharger off, then the ramp up is slower. All right. So keep that in mind. The Nemesis is a little bit special, where the Nemesis shoots slow initially, and just by firing, its fire rate begins to increase for a period of time. So as you all can see, let me put a mag on this real quick. So as you all can see here, you see the 100 over my weapon icon in the bottom, and now you see it descending. That is its fire rate descending. So if I just shoot and hold, you can see the fire rate begin to increase with the Nemesis. All right, again, it isn't going to hit as hard as a heavy weapon, but it isn't going to be as weak as a light weapon. There are special instances where you will want to rock an energy weapon and instances where you won't. All right, do know that the Nemesis is meta, so if you come across it, pick it up because it's super easy. As you see, I missed some shots there and still 5 bursted somebody that has red armor, and yeah, it's a training dummy, but I just put out 225 damage that easily with missing shots. You know, you can put down people super quick with the Nemesis. So if you see it, pick it up, get good with it. It'll help you long term. All right. And then the last weapons, or excuse me, the last category of weapons I'll cover are known as heirloom weapons. All right, these are weapons that only drop out of care packages that come out the sky randomly throughout the match. All right, do know that some weapons will be going in and out of the rotation. So for example, the Hemlock and the L-Star will be coming out of the care package in season 18. And for the life of me, I can't remember what goes in. I think the Prowler goes into the care package and the Hemlock comes out. The L-Star may be staying in the care package. The Hemlock, as you can see by the logo next to, or excuse me, next to the sights icon, right below the weapon icon, you'll see that it is inherently a heavy weapon. So when it comes out the care package, and they cycle weapons out the care package, I believe every season. Sometimes they will do it at the midway point of the season, I believe, but for the most part, season by season, they'll go ahead and they will alternate weapons in and out of the care package. But you can see this is inherently a heavy weapon. So when it comes out, it'll just go right here, and the Prowler will go in here. Do know that out in the wild, heirloom weapons have limited ammo. So like the Hemlock, for example, when you pick it out of a care package, will have 210 bullets in the reserve. You cannot refresh that at all. Okay. The L-Star, when you pick it up, I believe will have 325 rounds, and you cannot refresh that at all. Do know the L-Star is inherently an energy weapon. So keep that in mind. The Bocek bow, I do not believe will come out or is not coming out anytime soon. This just takes arrows. It's its own weapon type in that regard. All right. Kraber never comes out. This is an heirloom weapon through and through, 12 shots with it. If you miss, too bad. And if you hit, good job. You know, the throwing knife is only in gun run as the final kill weapon, or excuse me, the final weapon that you have to get the kill with. Okay, so that's pretty much everything when it comes to a weaponry. Do know there are different types of weapons. You have your pistols here, right? The RE45 automatic pistol, and I should have talked about this as I was going through each ammo type, but P2020 semi-automatic pistol, RE45 is a full auto pistol, alternator is a twin barrel full auto SMG, R99 rapid fire SMG, R301 full auto high accuracy AR, Spitfire LMG, G7 marksman rifle. Of course, snipers are snipers, as you all can see, with the exception of the wingman. Why did they make the wingman powered by sniper ammo? I don't really know. They just decided to do it. They woke up one day and said, dude, we might as well make the wingman a sniper weapon. I think because when it was a heavy weapon, people could just run wingman, or wingmen, I guess I should say, all day, every day, because heavy ammo was so easily accessible, and they could have 240, sit back with it, and just peck at people all day. Maybe they just wanted to mitigate that. I don't know, but hey, it's here. Shotguns are shotguns, obviously. Different shotguns. Mozambique is like a shotgun pistol. The EVA 8 is the full auto shotty. The Peacekeeper is the lever action. The Mastiff is a semi-auto shotgun that fires bullet spreads like this. If you ADS, it tightens the spread a little bit there. As I mentioned with the PK, it shoots like this. And then when you ADS and hold it down for the choke to tighten the shot, it shoots like this. The EVA 8 just shoots like this, very fast, especially when you pick up a shotgun bolt to increase the fire rate, okay? Also, again, like I mentioned with the gear, every single hop up or attachment has rankings. You have your white, which is common, blue rare, purple legendary, and then gold is, I don't know what you would call it. If you're playing Destiny 2 exotic, I don't know what you would call it. Let's just call it level 4, level 3, level 2, and level 1. All right, for all the attachments for you to be able to put onto your weapons to upgrade your weapons throughout the match. Okay, so you'll see as I look at these, and I know I'm a little bit everywhere. Forgive me for this, y'all. It's a little bit impromptu here. But when it comes to attachments, you'll see some weapons can pick up stocks, right? Stocks improve handling, reduce aim drift, and give you quicker reloads. Snipers, you know, have their snocks as well, or not snocks, but stocks as well. Again, shotgun bolts give you fire rate increase, and then the gold one allows you to automatically reload when you slide, which is pretty cool. When it comes to magazines, all weapons have magazines. So sniper mag, heavy mag, light mag, energy mags, they all have these. When it comes to the gold mags, whenever you stow your weapon for a period of time, it will auto reload. So if you find a gold mag, you are in luck, and be sure to use that weapon first before you swap to your second weapon, because when you're using your second weapon, it will auto reload by the time you want to swap back to it. Little fun fact there, okay? 3 types of grenades. We have a thermite, we have a frag grenade, and an arc star. The thermite grenade literally creates a firewall that constantly burns somebody that is standing in it. The arc star can stick to an enemy and explode. When it explodes, it will stun them, which is pretty cool. You know, I got it on his foot. Boom, he's stunned a little bit, and he takes 75 damage. I'll just throw that away there. And then your frag grenade operates like a traditional frag grenade, and you can actually hit people with it. I hit him with that frag grenade. It did 10 damage, then it blew up and did 100 damage. So those are your throwables there. I'm trying to think, am I missing anything? Oh, barrel stabilizers. So certain weapons can pick up barrel stabilizers, which give you a little bit of recoil reduction. So it helps you be able to control recoil, because every weapon does have recoil. Okay, couple hop-ups here. Double tap trigger, fire 2 quick shots per trigger pull. Hammer point rounds increases unshielded damage, so when you get somebody fleshed, you do more damage. Turbocharger, we talked about that. And then skull piercers, which are equipped for the 30-30 longbow wingman. It increases headshot damage, which can be pretty slick with it. Laser sights, which you put typically on SMGs, they provide you with hip fire spread reduction. We talked about stocks there. We talked about mags there. I'm just trying to triple check, make sure I covered all bases with those. There are a multitude of scopes. Do know that when it comes to SMGs, the biggest scope you can put on is a 2x. So you have your regular 1x hollow. Let's see here. You have your regular 1x hollow. You have your ACOG classic. You have your 1x2 variable, your 2x bruiser, almost called it a browser. You have a 3x scope right there. You have a 2x4. You have a digital threat, which you can only put on some pistols, SMGs, and shotguns, which allows you to highlight enemies, which is pretty cool. Here, I'll show you guys that while I am at it. So boom. So if I went ahead and I smoked this person right here, I can still see them through the smoke. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's see here. And then you have the sniper scopes that I showed you all briefly when I was demoing that. You have that 4x10, you have the 4x8, and then you also just have the base 6 times. All right. So that's all the scopes, all the attachments, the weapons. If you guys want me to do a further weapon breakdown at any point in time, just leave it in the comments. Let me know, hey, Cray, we want you to break down the weapons even more. And I have no problem doing so. No problem doing so at all. But yeah, that is everything. Weapons, gear, heals, throwables. Oh, that's not everything. Gosh, I'm glad I seen this. All right, last thing, we have survival items. So there are things called heat shields, which allow you to survive in the storm. So if you are in the storm as the ring is tightened up and enclosing, you drop a heat shield and it will allow you to heal faster in it, and you will not take storm damage for that period of time. All right. Do know as you get to later rounds, once you get to round 2, round 3, round 4, anything beyond round 4, if you put a heat shield down, it will blow up automatically, like right away. All right. It'll just save you for like a second. Round 3, the heat shields burn quicker. Round 2, the heat shields, burn quicker than round 1, so on and so forth. Ultimate accelerants allow you to get your ultimate energy back faster. So if I use my ultimate ability, like let's say I used it, here I'll just switch characters. Let's say I use my ultimate ability and I pick this up, I can use my ultimate accelerant, and as you all will see down at the bottom middle of my screen, 12%, 13%, 14%, boom, up to 50% just like that from popping an ultimate accelerant. And then you have evac towers. These were new in season 17, I believe. So what you do is you literally just press your survival item button, click on it, and do know it has a life expectancy and it can be shot down. So you'll see a timer starts 96, 92, 88. You have 25 seconds to use this thing if you're not a mathematician. Also, if people are shooting at it, they can actually destroy it, and they can actually make that time limit accelerate. So you better jump on it as soon as possible. If you're on it when it hits 0, it will allow you to still deploy. At least that was my experience. I could have had a glitch and I could be wrong, but to my knowledge, you can still deploy if you jump on it at 1%. It's going to allow you to deploy before it explodes in an entirety, okay? So keep that in mind. Heat shields are not in the training range because there's no storm, but there will be heat shields. And then you have the evac towers there, and you also have mobile respawn beacons that are not in the training range as well. A mobile respawn beacon, you can go ahead and place it anywhere in the open, and it will land in front of you. If you have your teammate's banner, like if your teammate died and you crafted the banner or you collected the banner, you can use that mobile respawn beacon to bring them back into the fight without having to go to a stationary respawn place or respawn beacon, because there could be enemy players camping that particular respawn beacon. All right, so again, that is everything. I'm trying to quadruple check to make sure I didn't miss anything, and I don't think I did. So yeah, we can go ahead and we can move on in this guide. All right, folks, now that we know pretty much everything about the foundation of Apex Legends, weapons, characters, what the game is, the game modes, you name it, this portion moving forward will be the how-to portion, right? How do I improve and or get better in Apex Legends? All right, so let's go ahead and jump right to it. The first thing I'm going to need you all to learn are the ins and the outs of the game, right? I know that sounds really simple, but that is where we have to start. All right, this ranges from the characters, not just, you know, the basics of the characters, but team compositions, which characters you're good with, which characters you suck with, what weapons you're good with, what weapons you are terrible with, where are the hot and or cold landing spots, where are quality loot locations, you know, how do I properly utilize crafters to my benefit and to my team's benefit, what are ring behaviors, you know, where's the ring in proximity to where I typically land, where's the ring going to pull to, and the list goes on, right? I know I literally just said 50,000 things. Trust me, there are 50,000 things and more when it comes to Apex Legends. We got to learn those things from experience, all right? Once we experience these things and we learn all of these basics over time, then it will be time for us to hone our craft and begin the journey to becoming our best self in Apex Legends. Now that you went ahead and you pretty much got the gist of things from trial and error, you now know where to land, where to find good weapons, what weapons you're good with, what weapons you suck with, what characters you're good with, what characters you are terrible with, so on and so forth. Now it is time for us to hone our craft, as I mentioned before, all right? First thing we gotta hone, I said home, what the heck? First thing we have to hone will be our aim, all right? We have to aim, and not just aim and aim train, but we have to do so with a purpose, all right? When people first see this game, they notice the movement right away. They're seeing people, you know, slide jump, and they see people, you know, tap strafing and be hopping around and doing all this jazz, right? Like, they see people doing those things. They're like, oh, those are the things that I need to do. Well, maybe, sort of, kind of, but 98% of the time, those things won't even be applicable to you, all right? Those things aren't applicable to us mere mortals, okay? We need to be able to aim. So we want to work on ironing that out here in the training range or the firing range, whatever you want to call this place, all right? Now, there are a couple things that we can do here. The first thing I will always advise, I never advise for people to, well, I won't say never. I just typically don't advise for people to follow everybody else's warm up and aim training routine, all right? Reason being is because what you lack is not what somebody else lacks. It's totally subjective, right? So like for me personally, I'm pretty decent when it comes to like flick shotting, you know, for me to sit here and do these type of things. Like I don't really have a big problem with that, right? My biggest problem is being able to trace and track whenever I'm on mouse and keyboard, right? That's my biggest issue. And this is applicable to controller as well, all right? So my controller players, I will not leave you all out there. Shoot, most of the time I'm a controller player as well. I go back and forth, but I digress there a little bit, right? So the big thing we want to do is identify what our issue is. Is our issue tracking from ADS? Is our issue tracking hip fire? Is our issue being able to tap and to single fire? What is our issue? From there, we want to reverse engineer it, and whether if you have a whiteboard like I have right here, or if you want to use your phone, write down what your issues are. And my whiteboard almost fell on me. Write down what those issues are, right? And then from there, we want to create our own drills. We can create 2 to 3 drills. We don't need 10 different things. We can create 2 to 3 drills that work best for us to improve whatever issue we may have, okay? So for example, how I just mentioned, tracking is my big issue. Me being able to stay on a target that is constantly moving left and right. They're crouching, they're doing all these different things. The cool thing about our firing range is that now we have the ability to adjust our bot behavior. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to change the bot behavior, and I'm going to change it to random strafe, okay? And not just random strafe, I'm gonna have them do random stance as well. So now they're going to strafe back and forth. You're going to see them throw some crouching in there. Now it's going to be my goal to be able to one clip them from various distances, right? What's right here? This is 10 meters, right? So I may do, 4 or 5 clips right here at 10 meters, where I'm just sitting here trying to trace and track in one clip, right? So I'll go through, let's pretend I did that 5 times. Now I may go ahead and back it up to 30 meters here. Okay, can I one clip this person? Am I at 30 meters? Yeah, I'm about 30 meters. Can I one clip this bot without moving, without left stick aiming if I'm on controller, or without AD strafing if I'm on mouse and keyboard? Can I one clip this bot right here? You know what I'm saying? Can I do that? All right. So I go ahead and I rep until I go ahead and do that 3 to 5 times. And then I just continue working up this hill, right? I continue increasing this distance here and continue trying my hardest to one clip this bot right here. Okay. So, and again, I'm just making up something off the top of the dome right now. This is something that I kind of do to a degree, but I do it a little bit different. But again, I'm just making up a drill just to show you how easy it is to make it up, right? So again, my big issue right here is being able to track enemies that are moving. So I go ahead and I do so at 10 meters, I do so at 30 meters, and then I do so at, let's say this is 50 meters, okay? So I go ahead, I rinse and repeat there. Not only do I do that with weapons that I'm good with, but I also do that with weapons that I'm not as good with, especially from those distances, okay? So I know for a fact I'm pretty strong with the R9. Why in the world would I continue trying to train with the R9 non-stop, all right? Like, why would I do that, all right? Couple reasons why I won't do that. I'll do it a little bit, right? I'll do it until I get warm, and then I'll go ahead and swap to a weapon I'm not as comfortable with. And the reason why I do that is because a lot of times we don't get to choose our loot unless we're near a crafter. Then we are subject to the 2 weapons that are in the crafter. But we also want to be versatile with any gun we pick up. So if I just landed in and the only thing that is around me is an alternator and I haven't been practicing with an alternator, I'm going to die. It's just point blank period. I'm going to suck with it, right? But if I practice my alternator or my RE45 from various ranges, if I practice tracking this person that is moving, what I can do is I can either get the knock and get the thirst, or I can at least put some shots on them and back them off me until I can regroup, find another weapon, or find my teammates, and then we can have 3v3 or 3v1, 3v2 warfare at that moment in time, okay? So we want to make sure that we are practicing with weapons that we don't usually utilize and weapons that we openly suck with. And I promise you, it will help elevate your overall game. When you do finally get to that sweet R9, you're going to cherish it that much more. And then you're also going to be able to go ahead and hit them one clips and go on your merry way. All right. Same rules apply. If you know you're terrible hip firing, if you're terrible like me with tracking ADS, feel free to find those 2 to 3 drills, let those drills find you, do them over and over and over again, ingrain them in your soul, get good with them, and then we will be able to carry them into actual gameplay, okay? Now, the next step of this would be to mix in movement, okay? Now, we just worked on finding our 2 to 3 drills, right? Where we are stationary aiming. If you're on controller, you're just using your right stick. If you're on mouse and keyboard, you're just using your mouse to aim, right? For me, again, I'm just trying to track. I'm just trying to track and shoot this dummy at various ranges here. If you have a flicking issue, then, you're going to, create a little bit of a flick drill, whatever the case may be, whatever the case may be. We went ahead and did that stationary. Now we're bringing in movement. All right, now we're going to bring in some strafes. If I know tracing was my issue from an ADS, then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try to ADS strafe, and I'm gonna try to ADS one clip this person at various distances. Obviously, I'm not gonna ADS that close, but I'm at 10 meters here. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in a little bit of strafe action here. You know, I might throw in a few crouches here, you know, to try to make my hitbox smaller. I may go ahead and I may let go of that ADS, and I may go from like a hip fire to an ADS. Did not mean to do that. You know, I may start out hip firing into an ADS, whatever I need to do. I'm mixing in movement now, all right? I'm mixing in movement because, again, in game, you're going to be moving. You're never in game. You're never going to just be here. Somebody pops up here, just going to sit here and do this, right? This is just to fine tune your... Why am I blanking out? This is just to fine tune muscle memory, right? To be able to counterbalance, control recoil, and to just get better at developing proper movement, or excuse me, motor patterns and muscle memory. Now we got to bring in that movement, and we're going to be running around, sliding around, and still doing everything that I said we were trying to do before, right? So 10 meters right here. I want to say this is about 10 meters, 10, 11 meters right here. Here, let me go ahead and kill this guy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit here and play this box a little bit, right? I'm going to sit here and play this box, pretend that I'm actually fighting, pop up, ADS shoot a little bit, play the box a little bit, and I'm gonna mix it up now, right? Now, of course, it's not gonna be as easy for me to get that one clip. I probably won't get the one clip, but my goal will be to improve every single clip, right? I'm sitting here, I'm strafing, I'm moving, I'm peeking the box right here, I'm getting some shots on them, okay? I know that that one clip right there broke them. All right, now how can I get to a place where my one clip leaves them a bullet, right? Or maybe I do one clip them. You know what I'm saying? Set goals to be able, or excuse me, set goals that we know we can accomplish, and set goals that are tangible. If I know with me moving, my greatest ability is for me to crack somebody, then over the course of the week, my goal will be for me to incrementally damage them more and more, right? So if I know with me moving, all I can do is break shield, by the end of the week, I want to be able to break shield and take some health as well, okay? That was a poor example. My aim is trash right now, but you guys understand what I'm saying here. At least I hope so, all right? Now, do know that there are times where you'll be strafing, and there are times where you won't be strafing. There's no reason in the world, if the enemy is not moving. So let me just see here. Where is it at? So if an enemy is just not moving at all, right? Why the heck, especially if I'm like right here, why would I start trying to do this stuff? Makes no sense, right? If he's in a box right there, man, I'm gonna just roll up, and I'm just going to one clip them and put them down, right? Like, so know when to strafe. You strafe when you know for a fact you're in a gunfight. You know that you're going to be fighting here. You know what I'm saying? Play some cover here. I'm going to strafe a little bit, make myself harder to hit, right? You want to know when to slide jump. You know, if you know you're cracked and they aren't cracked and you're trying to evade, you know, slide jump, throw in a little bit of a tap strafe there, get behind cover, heal up, do what you need to do, right? Know when to mix in movement, all right? Very rarely will there be a time where you need to bring in fancy stuff, right? Like there's like little to no time where you'll need to sit here, you'll need to get a wall bounce in and then come here and kill it. Like, no, that is far and few between. Like there may be an occasion when you're getting chased, you're just in a funky situation and you need to throw off the opposition, that you do throw in a wall bounce to throw them off, right? There may be a few instances like that, but I feel like those are far and few between, and you will not be doing that, you know, in high ranked lobbies. You're still going to get tracked and you're going to get killed. So learning how to wall bounce isn't really the biggest deal. After they've nerfed bunny hopping really isn't the biggest deal either. It's something that you can still learn how to do, like that's fine, but I don't think it is the biggest deal to learn, because it is nerfed. And it has been nerfed for quite a while. There may be a few instances where it is useful, you're trying to heal, but even when you're healing and you're bunny hopping, momentum dies. There's really not a big reason to bring that into play. Think about those type of movement mechanics, the wall bounce, the bunny hopping. Think about those mechanics as like the icing on the cake, but not the cake. The cake is knowing when to strafe, knowing when to slide out of cover, you know, maybe a little tap strafe here and there if you are a mouse and keyboard player. But other than that, get the aim right. Get the aim right, get the strafe right, know when to slide and get out of danger, when to retreat, when to attack. And those tools will take you further than a wall bounce or a bunny hop ever could. All right. Okay, now this is the third step. Let's say we already aim trained for the day, right? We got in our static aiming where we're only using our mouse or using our right stick. We added movement into the play where we're strafing now to help further control, recoil, and counterbalance some weaponry, and to also, for controller players, what's called left stick aiming, which is when you're strafing and it helps with recoil control. You know, we're 80 strafing on mouse and keyboard. We're bringing that into the mix, sliding around, tap strafing, doing little things like that, right? We went ahead and we did that for a period of time. Let's say we did 15 minutes of static aiming, and then we did 15 minutes of movement aiming. Now we're 30 minutes in. What do we do next? We take our skills into team deathmatch, gun run, and or control. They are on 15-minute timers, so whatever is available, you jump in there, all right? Before you jump in though, I want you to set some goals, right? These goals can be anything. I want them to be tangible though. I want short-term goals. These goals can be get 10 kills in either respective game mode. It could be get 3,000 damage, you know, win 70% of your gunfights. Your call, right? Totally your call. And I want you to hit them on multiple occasions. I would say hit them 3 to 5 times before you graduate onto a new goal. This doesn't have to be in one sitting or one day, but just keep that in mind. So if your goal is to get 10 kills, we don't move that goal to 15 kills if you did it once. No, we should be able to do that over the course of multiple days before we move that goal onward, okay? So boom, we got our goal set. Let's say it's to get 10 kills. We want to hit that. Let's jump in and let's do it. Let's get busy, right? Let's get busy. So let's say we've played a match of control and a match of team deathmatch, and we got 6 kills and 7 kills, all right? The next thing I want you to do is ask yourself, why did I only get 6 or why did I only get 7 kills, right? Ask yourself that question there, because what's going to happen is it's going to allow you for the next day and the following days to formulate a better plan and approach. Let's say, for example, you got, again, 6 kills in control and 7 kills in team deathmatch to follow that. Maybe it was because your static aim was good, but when you threw the strafe in, it threw off everything, all right? Now we know what we need to work on the next day, man. We need to work on strafe aiming. I need to be pristine, and I need to be able to track my targets when I have a strafe in there, all right? Now, again, with your whiteboard or with your phone, you write that down, you note that down, and you start the game plan. Okay, what are some things I can do to improve in that, right? What are some drills I can make up for myself to improve in that? Again, doesn't have to be a lot. Shucks, it can be one drill, just something that you know you can do that will work to your benefit to improve that particular thing. We want to identify that, and then we want to go ahead and do everything possible to correct that thing, all right? Rolling into step number 4. Now this will be after you've played, you know, 3 or 4 TDMs, gun runs, controls, whatever. You move on to the PR portion of things, all right? And we're going to do the same thing we just did with that particular game mode. We're going to set a goal, and we're going to do everything we can to accomplish that goal that is challenging but yet doable. That goal can be, I want to get 5 kills and 1,000 damage, right? It could be something very simple. Again, the goal will vary based upon where you are in your Apex journey, and that is totally fine. We want to do everything in our power to meet those goals, right? We don't want to play like an idiot and drop hot by ourselves. We're never going to hit our goals, and we're never going to grow and develop in doing that. Dropping hot and getting kills and playing for kills, that's a different video for a different time. Those are things we can do, but we can do those things in an intelligent manner, all right? So again, we're piggybacking off what we did with TDM, gun run, and control here, setting those goals, striving to accomplish those goals in an intelligent manner, playing with your team, running into fights, you know, doing what you can to get busy when you do run into those fights, all right? If you are struggling, if you can only get 1 to 2 kills and you know that your squad got into 4 different fights that were definitely winnable. You think about that. Shucks, why did I not win my 1v1 in that particular 3v3 gunfight? Why did we lose there? What could I have done better? Was it my aim? Was it my movement? Did I just not use what's between my ears in that particular fight? Because it happens to the best of us. We get somebody one shot, we go and push them, and we get hit with a bait and switch, we're dead. Now our teammates have to fight a 2v3, we lose, right? Happens to the best of us. Happens to pro players, happens to beginners alike, okay? Think about what happened there and what can we do to correct those things, all right? That's how we get better, and we can go ahead and we can implement those things that we need to improve into our next day's training, right? Into our next days, whether if we need to do it in a training range or if we need to practice some real game scenarios in team deathmatch, gun run, or control. We can do that. We can totally do that. It doesn't always have to be only applicable in the training range. It can be applicable in those rotating game modes as well. Now, I want to piggyback off of a point I made on numerous occasions while talking through this, get better portion or whatever you want to reference it. And that is finding the common errors in your gameplay, taking note of them, and blueprinting a way to correct them. Okay. One thing I would suggest doing if you can, well, shucks, you should be able to. If you're playing on console, you can always backtrack and save your gameplay footage. And if you're playing on PC, you can download something like Overwolf for example, to be able to watch playbacks of your gameplay. And I would encourage you all to do this. It's one thing mentally reflecting, shucks, what did I do wrong? But sometimes what we remember and what actually happened are 2 different things. So I would encourage you to use something like Overwolf that is free, that will record not only highlights, but your entire gameplay on PC. Or if you're on console, you should have the ability to record up to 60 minutes prior at any given time. At least on the PlayStation you can. Don't know what Xbox offers, but you can record things. You can backtrack in 15-minute increments all the way up to 60-minute increments on the PlayStation, to my knowledge. If you're on the Switch, I'm sorry, you're kind of SOL there. I am so sorry. You might want to get a PlayStation, Xbox, or PC. Anyways, definitely check out that gameplay, watch that gameplay, digest it, and see if it falls in line with what you were thinking mentally. If it does, perfect. If not, okay, what are you seeing? You thought you played that well, and then you went back and watched it. Shucks, I really didn't. I played that stupid. I could have won that gunfight. My aim is good. I know I could have strafed. I could have won that gunfight, 1-1v2, whatever. I just got to think more, right? Okay, take note of that, whiteboard, phone, whatever, take note of that. And whatever you write down, you can write down 10 different things. Like literally, I have 7 things for me to improve on this whiteboard. I only pick 1 to 2 things to improve a day. There's no way I can improve all 7 of these things in a day. I'm just going to get nowhere. I'm going to chase my tail. I'm going to go to thing number 1, to thing number 2, to thing number 5, to number 7. I'm going to just do this over and over and over again. I need to get great at thing number 1 and number 2 on my whiteboard. Once I get great at those things, then I can move on to thing 3, and then eventually thing 4, so on and so forth. We have to get really good at one thing at a time, and then over time, we will improve on all of these things collectively, okay? So think about it in that way. Doing this, rinsing and repeating this over the course of days, weeks, and months will allow you to continue to propel yourself. And if your goal is to reach Masters or Apex Predator, or shucks, for some people it's just to be decent in the game and from a rank standpoint get to like silver or gold, or they just want to play pubs with their friends without getting clapped up left and right. Regardless of what your goals are, these things right here will help you accomplish them and maybe even exceed your own expectation. And truthfully, the last thing I want to leave you all is with this, okay? Don't take this game too serious. Yeah, you heard me. Do not take this game too serious, all right? I want you to take this game for what it is and enjoy the experience overall, right? Now, I know I am setting you up to take this game as serious as freaking Tom Brady during his run with the Patriots, right? But remember, this is arguably one of the best battle royales on the market, right? Think about that. You get to play one of the best battle royales out in the market. And I'm not saying that as like a suck up to Respawn or anything like that, but like think about what we get to do. We get to play a video game and kick back. You know what I'm saying? Like if you think about that at the root of it, whether if you're a content creator, if you are a casual, whatever, I don't care what you are. We get to sit back and play a video game with our friends, you know, a game that is well optimized, well put together. There are some issues with it, I will openly admit. It's not perfect by any means, but no game is, you know. We get to kind of just kick back, relax, and play that. So I encourage you all to be lighthearted, enjoy it to the fullest. When you die in a goofy manner, laugh it off. Laugh it off. Like, yo, I can't believe I just did that. Or, oh man, no, right? Like, there will be some tilting moments, I will openly admit, but then just remember, okay, what can I learn from that? Or, you know what? This is a game, man. This is a game. It's okay. I'm good. You know what I mean? And then re-queue up. You know, trust me, approaching this game with that type of mindset will save you a ton of heartache, because you will get third-partied. You will lose gunfights you felt like you shouldn't have lost. The list goes on. If you take this game too serious, you will stress yourself out and you will be bald-headed in a matter of a month. I can almost promise you that. All right? So again, have some fun, play the game, win, lose, or draw, live to queue another day. And folks, with that being said, that is what I have for you all today. The Ultimate Beginner's Guide, Apex Legends here in Season 18. I hope this video was of value to you. If it was not of value, I am so sorry for wasting your time, but hopefully you were able to pick out at least one little gold nugget out of what I provided you all with today. With that all being said, I will go ahead and sign out. It's been your boy Cray. Until we meet again, stay humble, be blessed, and remain relentless. I will catch you all in the next video. Peace!